Boom, 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 boom. Let's get streaming. Let's hope this works. Ah, well, looks like we're alive, so that's a good start. It's a good start. YouTube thinks we're here. I think that's all that matters. Now, while I wait for human beings to turn up and robots, I do not discriminate. I will turn my back to the camera and see if I can find a tool that has been seducing me for months, and then tonight when I want to use it, it's all of a sudden not around. It's like, yeah, for weeks and months it's been, "Hi Paul, how's it going Paul? Good to see you Paul. When are you going to use me Paul? Looking good there Paul. One day, soon Paul." And yeah, the time finally comes and I get nothing. Yes, such is the joy of life. Alrighty, well, looks like we've got some people here, so let's get rolling. It's getting late. Yeah. So we've got a bit of juiciness here. First thing I have to do, because this is going to take the longest to actually post-process, I've got this new iMac that I have to deal with. Now, unfortunately, the trouble with this iMac is it is afflicted with a terrible, terrible disease, and that is that it has rust spinning around in it, and, well, I simply cannot tolerate rust spinning on the inside of an iMac, let alone most computers for that matter. So we have to slash this thing open, gouge out that horrendous rust, and replace it with something less rusty. So let's get that underway. And the humble pie will come later. First, let's get this rust out of here. Anyway, the tool I'm after is actually, it's the only iFixit tool I have, and it's the version is Pizza Cutter. This one here, it's not really anywhere near as good. The iFixit one actually does work better for once, and a few times. A few times that the personality of the tools works in my favour. So, yeah, so we've got to just slash this open. I just picked this up today. It seems to be working pretty good. It's a pretty normal 21.7 inch i5 2013. Yeah. Yeah, and as usual, the pizza cutter doesn't always cut. You gotta be careful with these things. This is not a screen you want to have develop a crack. So you just, and I think that's where I like the iFixit one. The iFixit one had just a little bit more reach, and I didn't have to start gouging in with a spudger. And I don't know where it is. Okay. Thank goodness at least these screens, you do not have to worry about cutting the actual driver flex. Whereas when you go 2015 onwards, I believe at 2015 onwards, you have the terrifying ordeal of knowing that if you go one itty bitty millimeter too far, you're in for a very expensive repair. Alrighty. At least they did make the cables accessible. I mean, you still got to do a little bit of finger play, but it's not too bad. Okay. Pick this up to the back a bit more. That should not fall off. Famous words, I know, should not fall off. Let's see. What do we want? T15s here. They're not really that bad. It is just the... Yeah, it is just that opening up of the foam padding. But once you're beyond that, it's fairly straightforward. And the nice thing about this particular model, the 21.7, is that it has only a 2.5-inch drive in it. Whereas the 27-inch, which is the other one that I have, it has a 3.5. And that means when you put a solid state drive in there, you've got to get a caddy and all that. And I just realised the screws are different lengths. Oh well, we'll work out which one goes where simply by doing depth testing, which basically means I will screw it in, and if the case goes no, then I'll go, oh right, okay, that's the wrong place to put the screw. A bit like how I park. Just keep going forward until I hear the bang, and then I know, oh, okay, I've reached the limit of how far I can go, unless I put my foot down a little harder and push the car ahead of me. Okay, this is 1 terabyte, probably 54 RPM. I mean 5400, but it may as well be 54. Okay. Sticky. This is actually the most awkward bit. Trying to get it back in and locking. Now, I'm not going to be able to do it. I have to, every time I have to remove the speaker slightly, just so I can get a bit of push on the solid state connector. I mean on the 2.5-inch connector. I'm sure there's an easier way. Probably if that whole caddy came out. I'm sure people who do this every day have come up with a technique. They're just not sharing it with me. Hey, blue dog, Ron. Long one goes on the bottom. Alright, good to know. Ach, me man. Maybe I could take this one out. I should probably check the state of the filter as well. There we go. Just enough room, I think. See how dexterous Paul's fingers are. Gotcha. Well, of course now I can't get the screw in the back. Hey, Oscar. Yeah, that's good. Yep, that's back in cozy, so. Nothing a £1 hammer can't fix. Well, I do tend to agree with you there. Alright. Okay. I'm just evaluating which ones are long. Well, we've actually got 2 mediums and 1 long. Alright, time to do some depth examination. Oh, and I wanted to check the fan. What's the guess that the fan's actually going to cause me more grief than not? Just figure while I've got it open I need to. Yeah, may as well. Oh, that's right. I remember the pain in the butt with the fan is that the clips almost never want to come back to clipping in. Actually, I don't even know why I'm trying to separate it. Ah, second screw. Right, showing my somewhat inexperience here. Aside from don't drop the screw. Gotcha. There we go. Okay, clip that in so we don't make that mistake. A bit of a brush out and that should be awesome. Yeah, I'll just take this outside and brush it. To be honest, that cooling grill looks pretty good. Someone's actually kept this in a decent room, unlike me. Macro. You get the gecko? Oh, glad to see the screen didn't fall off while I wasn't here. That would have been entertaining for everybody except myself. Wow, it's just the extractor. Hey, we're talking about cider? What is this? This isn't my mate Vince or Adam RT. Oh, Miles, believe me, I would have tried. I would have tried blame you. Or at least some of you. I'll just see who's not looking and attack the most gullible. I feel like I'm missing something blatantly obvious here right now. Blatantly obvious. And I don't know what it is. Something's yelling at me and I'm not sure what. I'm gonna... Yeah. Gravity. Yeah, can't use that one. That's copyright now. That's definitely needing the extra long one. Oh, this. This is a... Yeah, this is where I'm a bit confused. What have I done? Have I installed this upside down? That makes no sense. What have I forgotten? Okay, so I've got this medium one. And the only thing I've... What? What? Why are you so stupid? Why you forget? How you forget? You stupid. Ah. Okay, this is just... No, I've got this installed incorrectly here. I feel like it needs to be reversed or something. I've done something. I've done something and I've gone and confused myself. The brackets. Where are the brackets? Ah, the brackets. Thank you. Yes. Much appreciated. There. I knew I was feeling extra dumb. Now it all makes sense. Yeah. Now I probably punched holes into the back of the chassis because I drove the screws in too far. Oh well. Oh well. So sad. Right, and the ultra short one goes up here by the fan. Right. Yeah, that was completely messing with me. I was like, none of this makes sense. The mounting doesn't make sense. I feel like I've been neuralized. Everyone loves limited slip dips until they end up in the tree. People spinning around in the rain, were they? Alright, now we're on the home front. Right. The pie will be happening when it's ready. Okay. Kind of snared a few of these little insulating bumpers or whatever they are. That's better. That screws through the center of the screen after so. Yeah, just and stop when you hear the second crack. Yeah. All right, now the tricky bit, where you really do feel like you need to be like a 10-year-old kid or something again. Your fingers in there. Voila. Boom. Okay. And now, oh yeah, I better go get the proper mounting gear. Be right back. There. Just like it went to a genius bar. Let's see, what next? Oh yeah, better get a keyboard and mouse. That was packing tape. Alright, not getting a bong? Seriously? That screen's energized though. No, it's probably... Okay, I need to install Mojave or something like that. Oh, it's got Ubuntu on it. That's not going to stay on there for very long. What have we got? Mojave installer. Hey 3X, how's things going over in your state? Obviously we're all pretty much watching from outside. That's jammy jellyfish, huh? Oh, logging in correct. Great. Don't even know my own password now. It does have a fancy keyboard and mouse, but I actually gave it to Alita because she took my other one, the one that you used to see behind me. Okay, I shouldn't say she took it. I offered it, and it never came back. Which seems to happen to every Apple product I give her. Oh wow, it actually understands Control-Alt-Delete. Okay. That's right, Travis, yeah. 111's usually what it is. Okay, here we go. There's the installer. The solid state drive I put in there, it's only a 240 gig, and it's just a cheap Crucial BX500 type. But it's all I need for this because basically I use this for doing the Apple configurator and just stuff like that. I actually have my main machine when I'm in the programming room. That is the 27-inch 2013 running Ubuntu. And I'm quite happy with it. I'm just going to get this started and then we'll get on with the next job or two. Drive to 3.5-inch mount. They've actually got the holes in the proper place, and they do cost a fair bit more. I think it's about $25 or something for these mounts compared to the $15 pressed metal ones. But I got to tell you, the fact that I can always guarantee that it's going to just work. I don't want to have to stuff around with things. Okay, I just noticed that the exposure was a bit excessive. Okay, disk utility, because we've got Ubuntu on there, we need to obliterate that. Yeah, Ubuntu was on there, so we're just going to petition, cancel. Fine, we'll just erase. PLD workshop Apple. Yeah, that completely makes sense. No, 240 gigs. The other thing I'm going to have to do is change the date and time on this. View. Oh. Okay. So utilities, terminal. This has already got the, damn it, turn Wi-Fi off. Okay. That's fun when when you're using a stick that you use periodically, it will remember that the Wi-Fi parameters, and so when you go and change the date and time, when you come back in to start the process, it fails again. Let's see, 2018, 10. No. Date. 2018. That's it, yep. Quit the terminal, install the macOS. But I really don't need more than 250 on this. In fact, I was contemplating just using a 120. Okay, and away it goes. We're going to move that machine to behind the scenes, and then we can get on with other things. Right. Don't need that keyboard and mouse. Don't need that level of zoom out. We can come in a bit more. Alrighty. Let's get on with eating some apple pie. Except it's not apple pie. Okay, this is my next little job. This needs a little micro USB replacement on it. So, bring out the microscope. And see if anyone can see why I'm eating humble pie at the moment. See if anyone notices. I'm not going to make it easy. It's going to cause indigestion on the way down anyway. Where the hell does my medium screwdriver get off to? Ah, there you are. Yeah, Steve, I went from 1 terabyte spinning Rust to 240 solid state. I think it's a fair compromise. Paul wins the prize. Holy damn, someone's been trying to massacre this one. Paul's got the prize. I did not break this one, though. This is the first time I've seen this. Man. It looks like we've got some caps missing as well. Alright. We'll just try and hot air that off very gently so we don't melt anything. Tony, to date I actually haven't encountered that problem with any of the ones I've done. I am aware of it, but I haven't encountered that issue with this particular model. So I don't know whether it was actually the previous, like 2012s or something like that, but it hasn't surfaced on this one. And if it does surface, then yeah, we can always hijack it with a resistor. Hey Daniel. Alright, now, you may be wondering, how was it that Paul stopped the glitching? And I kind of want Creature to be here before I announce it, but he's probably not going to turn up. It'll be the one night he doesn't bother to turn up. Man, someone really went at this with a soldering iron. No, it's not the old scope cam. I'm just going to run at 360. I might give it a little more air though. Like 60% air. And hopefully we can avoid melting the little push button. They can become very quickly temperamental and just... Oh, come on. You want to go through the board, don't you? Oh, wow. Hey, Daniel Laser, scratch your eyes out. Andrew Hughes, did I increase the swap file size? No, I did not. I can tell you this much, I did nothing on the operating system side, or the driver side, or the card side. So that might narrow it down for you. It's kind of fun to watch people guess. Like I said, I do hope that creature turns up in time. Hey, Pro Engineer, just saw you there. Hey, Osis. No, didn't do anything like that. No. I know, I'm going to make it hell for you guys. But that's the fun of it for me. If I'm going to be eating humble pie, then I'm going to make sure that you all struggle to watch it. Oh, what the hell? An error occurred in updating the firmware. Quit installing. Oh, you gotta be kidding. I've never had that oh, do not tell me that this is a firmware locked machine. I will spew. Control shift. It's trying to make this MacBook boot into a new, the mode when you can make it load up whatever system is on the internet. The trouble is I'm using stupid Windows keyboard. Come on. Give me some juicy boot. One more try. Whew, starting internet recovery. Had me worried there for a second. Still can go badly from this point, but at least I actually can choose that option. Alright. Let's see. Lighting seems off, sort of bluish tinge. It's quite possible. I haven't pressed the white balance button, but then, yeah, lighting's always off. Let me just read back. Yeah, okay, I think one or two of you have picked it up. Damn it, creature, where are you, man? I need you. Okay, we desperately need to clean that up. There's some really heavy flux that's being used there. Looks like the sort of stuff you get out of multi-core 1 or 2 millimeter thick solder wire. Wait, what? What the... what? There's a hole there and a hole there. That's got to be... okay, that's for mounting something on the other side. Oh, that's for the SD card. That's interesting how they've done that. Civlap, the coloration will... I mean, you're right. I can see what you're talking about. It does have a higher sort of Kelvin color tone to it. Michael Chitz, yes. Alright, looks like, hey Kenny Whidden, looks like Creature's not turning up. Well, that's his own loss. But yes, I went out and I bought myself an 8K cable. And the 8K cable settled it down. There is still an issue though, and this is why it's only half a pie. There is still an issue, and it won't let me. It won't work properly on the other modes. The camera still seems to have issues with me picking other modes, but at least this is certainly a viable point. So at least I can work with this without going insane with all the glitching. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Let's hope it's not plumber's flux there. Could it be that the very first one that I pulled out is actually going to match? That's inconceivable. Inconceivable. It's pretty damn close, actually. I think I might just have to clear out those holes a little bit. But yeah, so it cost me, I think it was $30 for a 8K cable. I know a 4K should technically work, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to just go the whole hog and get the 8K, just in case. You could use the 35 barrel and 2x digital zoom for 1080 and let you record a wire field pan if you need to. Yeah, I could, but I think it's probably going to be more drama than what I'm willing to handle. I'm just going to have to learn to work on a more restrictive field of view for people watching. It's not too bad. You get used to it. Alright, that it looks like it's a fit. I can't believe it. That was the first one I pulled out. Yeah, first one I pulled out of all these. Flippin' lucky. So flippin' lucky. And if you're wondering, yes, the orientation does appear to be correct. It's broader up the top. That is a very important aspect to keep track of. If you get that wrong, it can result in some rather spectacularly hilarious outcomes. Geez, Miles, that's crazy. That's like, what is that, Monster Cable brand? I got mine from Officeworks, so I was actually stunned that it was under $100. Yeah, I didn't want to stuff around with ending up getting the wrong 4K, so I thought, no. Because as it was, that the 8K cable was only $5 more than the 4K. So I thought, well, at least that eliminates the A risk. But I'm still not sure why it won't work on the other resolutions. But we'll see if the EDID enforcer can actually fix that side of it. I did go to Townsville today, yeah. The brand was some arbitrary arbitrary. That's it there. Console 1.5 meter, certified. Not that I suspect certified means squat, but it did the job. Weren't you worried about the drivers? I don't really... Oh, well, the only thing I'm worried about, I don't really want it to be... I prefer it if it was actually pushing proper 1080 60 or 1080 50 into the card. Now, I don't really know how much of a difference that's going to make, but I guess sort of I'm trying to avoid the camera doing any sort of excessive compression. So if it does less compression at 1080, then yeah, I'm happier about that. I guess half the problem is I don't really know what this camera is doing internally in the box. I'm just trying to clear out my nozzle for the lead paste, because I need to put lead paste down on this. I can't solder it directly. I need like the leg of a component to do this. So many resistors get killed in my workshop because I steal their legs. Or LEDs are actually slightly better. Certified means the one they submitted. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no verification or follow-ups on that. Oh my god, this thing wants to install Mavericks on it? Okay, fine. Obviously forgot to press the shift key. Doesn't matter, we'll see if it goes with that. Excessive paste, it's everywhere, nobody cares. I don't care. Just push a bit more over there. Unfortunately, excessive paste just balls off in 99% of the cases. And we will take a side look after we've reflowed it to make sure that there's no bridges. Hey Travis, I think this is a security camera, and this is just the storage board for it. Do you have any idea the dimensions of the EDID enforcer hardware? I can't imagine it's going to be too big, probably maybe 4 centimeters by 3 centimeters, I don't know, maybe 10 centimeters by 3. It's not going to be very big. Oh, by the way, I got a package today of those peel-off solderable trace rebuild things. Somebody sent it to me. I'm not sure who it is though. So if it was you, can the real sender please stand up? Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go. Having fun. Doink, doink, doink. Come on, you can do it. Ah, delicious. Just give a chance for the chassis to actually really grab that solder and pull it in. There we go. Been watching Phil too much. Phil, as in Coda Phil? Alright, so as expected, we do have a bridge. And as expected, the board is hot. Oh, such hotness. But it's sitting flat. We'll just clear out that bridge and it should be good. That board is actually quite hot. Ow. Yep, quite hot. Oh, right. I sort of try not to sing. I just sort of make jingles. That's more like what I do. Kind of like Armour hot dogs. Hey, Wayne Taylor, good evening. What's £1 fish? This joint's been reluctant to give me its solder. And I'm reluctant to use wick, because if you use wick, more often than not, it takes too much. Yeah, there was another one sneaking away in there. What? That thing just lifted at 250? I'm just gonna, because I moved it when it did that reflow just then, I probably should let it sit back down again. Yes, Catherine, hopefully with the forced EDRD, then everything should be how I would like it to be. As I have tried multiple different resolutions again with the new cable, and it just doesn't seem to want to do it. Oh, Wayne, it was you that sent me the pad strips. Cool. Yeah, that I wasn't sure who it was. So thank you very much for that, Wayne. Now I'm kind of wondering whether there's supposed to be a capacitor here or not. I kind of feel like there was, and it got lost. So I'm going to say it's a 603. We're going to say, well, theoretically it shouldn't be more than 5 volts, but we'll put 10 volts, 10 microfarad, something like that. I really don't know if there was a cap there, but yeah, I just sort of feel like it kind of looked like there was. Pardon me. Got the hiccupies. Oh, really, Ed? Oh, you poor thing. That would have confused you. Sorry, I thought everyone was aware of it. 2.210? Yeah, you know what? 2.2, 10 volt, that's reasonable. But unless they're using 12 volt system. Now, I know we shouldn't see 12 volt, but shouldn't and isn't, well, you know, expect the unexpected, I suppose. So I'm just trying to find something. 100 nanofarad, a little bit too... No, 1206, a bit chunky. 1 microfarad, 25 volts. I think that's fair. Yeah, Wayne, it's not something I've ever used, and maybe I will on iPhones. I'm not sure. Oh, looks like someone's been using these. And I think these are 603s. Oh no, that's actually... It's okay, we'll just stick a 603. Those pads are for 805s. No drama. We'll just use 603. Put 25 volt. Yeah, that's what it did. We just put... yeah, that there is a 1 microfarad, 25 volt. And that, I think, should cover us. The only thing is, yeah, there's a pairing there that kind of like a 100 nanofarad, 1 microfarad, something. That there is factory, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Oh, crap. Creature turned up. God damn it, creature. You're too late. You're too late. I gave the confession and you weren't here. Ah, great. This needs some assistive heat. And creature's like, what? What did I miss? What did I miss? You missed the most important moment of your life. You gotta love the lag, don't you, Andrew? Gotta love it. Creature missed everything. Creature missed the fact that the whole first portion of the stream was waiting on him. That's so typical. Okay, Creature, what do you notice about the stream? What's different about the stream? See if your powers of observation are up to scratch. Latin. Ah, damn it, Tony. Giving it away. Tony's the other person that can't be quiet about the surprise party. Oh, yeah, sorry, miss. We're just, we've been busy getting ready for your surprise party. Oops, sorry. Tony gets banned. No, he doesn't really. Anyway, Creature, your voice, your text voice triggered something in me, and I went out and I bought an 8K cable. And now that's fine. I still can't switch modes. It still doesn't agree with it. The card and the camera are still fighting, and the camera insists on sending UHD 60. So the EDRD enforcer will still be needed. But funnily enough, when I use the EDRD enforcer, it negates the requirement of the 8K cable. So I had the EDID adapter or modifier turned up before I got the card, we actually may never have known. What I find interesting is it didn't actually give my LG TV any grief. And yeah, it's a 4K. So for whatever reason, the capture card, maybe it's a noisier input environment, I don't know. All I know is it didn't give that grief, but yeah. See, was it on this side? This, I'm pretty sure. Right. Jeez, that took longer than I needed. It's always fun when you're trying to put something back together and it just... there's only one way it can go and you're still managing to have no success. Well, looks like that's a fit. I am genuinely stunned that the first micro USB socket I pull out of the box is actually the one that worked. Feet and all, complete with keying marks. That's going to go down as one of the luckier events in my life. Alright, we'll just go see what the MacBook's up to. Oh, agree, install. Okay, it's putting Mavericks on there. I don't even know if I can upgrade from Mavericks to Catalina or Mojave. I kind of need it to. Mavericks and El Capitan can be a bit strange trying to upgrade. Kind of like the heatsink that didn't fit. Yep, exactly a smeller. Yep. That was dumb. I couldn't believe I did that. I guess I should have. Hey, Vladimir. Alrighty. Not surprised that $1,500 capture card is picky about signal quality. Seems to be the way. It does seem to be. The camera people said to me, "Why don't you just buy our cheap $100 capture units?" And I'm like, "Hell no!" I said, "I just spent a ton of money on a good quality capture card. I'm not going to ruin everything just because I would sooner buy a camera that gave me the results I want rather than drop down to a crappy quality capture card." They're like, "Well, we're just trying to make it work for you." And now I feel like I actually should write back to them and say, if the cable you supplied with your camera was actually a good one, then this would not have even happened. So I guess it's marginal. Damn it. Or they're hoping that most people just plug it into 1080. Anyone see what I did with my brush? Or did I put the brush inside the MacBook? Like a bad surgeon? I would really love to see you try one of the old crappy US to HDMI. Yeah, I threw out those because I had them. I had 2 of them until they just burned up. But yeah, I threw them in the bin. I suppose it's worth spending $19 and getting another one just to see what it's like. Alright, now this is the part that actually makes eating humble pie tolerable. Because I went to Townsville today, as you know, and I dropped into my usual supply centre and they gave me this. And I said, "Oh, you still want the boards?" And I said, "Yes, please." And this is what I got given. Really nice collection. So these are all dead boards. They are not drilled. They are replacement boards. That is to say, when a machine needs fixing, instead of repairing the board, they just do the replacement model as well. So I think probably got a 239 here, I'm not really sure. And these are 3662s this is a 138, I think. Yeah, I think that's a 138. Crap, Paul. Why don't you wear glasses? Aha, amazing, the power of glasses. 3787. 332. Oh wow, that'll probably just be a U8900 reball on that one. Not reball, rework. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. 3662. 3662. 1708. I don't think I saw any 1708s in here when I picked it up. 3780. 3437. What's the spec on? Oh god, this is a refurb, and it's a 1.34. So, other than a bit of training exercise, that's probably not worth even repairing. 165. This is a 1.64, so it's okay. It's not the greatest. It's okay. It's it's still a more modern board. Another 165. A 1.68 gig. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This is a good one. Not quite the 1.8, but that's still a good board. That's a good board. $37.80, 34.37. My God, I'm losing my brain. This is a 1.44. It's kind of sad that I've gotten to the point where that sort of board I'm kind of like, oh, well, I'll use it for donor parts. Now, I actually don't know what these are. I mean, I know they're iMac boards, but I don't know what model or anything like that. This might be a 27-inch, I'm guessing. Yeah, some sort of 27-inch, I'm guessing, because it's got the 4 RAM slots in it. Now, I have no idea what can be wrong with these. Obviously, it's been replaced for a reason, but what reason that is, I'm not sure. So that's probably going to be, if Paul expands in the future, sort of thing, in terms of what can he try to learn new. Throw that on the floor. This looks like the same thing. I don't know what year these would be, but they kind of have a 2013 feel. I don't know what the board number is. Sorry. What are you? 3115? Oh, you got memory still on you. Cool. This is a 3115. I've got 2 gigs on. These are probably just RAM failures. 2 gigs. And 4 gigs. Okay, so we've got 6 gigs there. Probably not something I would. 3115, I may, if I have to. Depends on the spec. And in this case, this is a 2.5 gigahertz, so it's probably an i5. I'm not real sure. It's not my area of expertise. Okay, now we're into the modern stuff. This is a 1521. Cool. It's probably a T2 failure. I can't see any corrosion directly on it, so T2 failures fairly prevalent. Yeah, see they've taken the top off the T2 chip to have a look. This is a different one though. Not sure what this is. Is this a... It might be under the heatsink. I'll be back in a second. Where's the spider? Oh, I need to put some new gloves on. First I have to wash them down with metho on the hands. Oof, yeah. Metho on the hands reminds you of all the places that you've been scratched because of your kitty cats. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did also get a power board, so yeah, brand new one. Stuck it over there so at least the cables can drape over rather than me having to hang them over the front here. It should do the job. Oh yeah, hairdo's all messed up. Mr. Rossman! Passport office in Miami next to a crying baby. You've got Sonny with you? Huh. Okay. Hey Lewis, just checking out my haul of cards that I picked up today at a certain special place. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what board this one is. I can't think of the number off the top of my head. Lewis, you're an expert. What have we got here? Because it's not the 1521, because this is a 1521. It's just, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's underneath the heatsink there. I can see a little bit of liquid damage on there, so maybe this one might actually be repairable. Looks uncomfortable. What looks uncomfortable? And let's see, 35, 36. Yeah, stick that on that pile. 4924. It's interesting. This one's actually slightly different. It's a different model. The way they've done the numbering up here is not the usual way they do the 4924. This is a 2.78 gig, so I'm thinking maybe it's an i7. 2020 airboard. Ah, that's okay, Lewis. We'll forgive you this time. Oh, what the hell's this? I mean, I know it's for a 1502. Oh man, the lid disconnect there. This is a 2.78 gig as well. These are actually pretty decent spec, these boards. But yeah, I can't see the number there. Let's have a look under the microscope. Oh, there it is, yeah, 4924. Okay. And you cannot see that. Anyway, yeah, so the way they're doing that, it's not really the normal way that I'm used to. Early 2015. Huh. Oh, geez. Damn it. What the hell did they send me one of these for? Oh, man. 1534. Let's see. If we're lucky, it'll be a 168, I think, or 163 model. Probably not. This will be a 244 or 0045, would be my guess. Lewis, what are you doing at that place next to a baby? I thought you were there doing government stuff. Yeah, it's a 0045, so that will just go straight into the parts bin. They do have some capacitors on them that are useful. And we're down to the last one. Looks like another 3115, I'm guessing. Yep. What? I paid $12 to Disney? Oh, that sucks. They stole my money. Oh no, this will be 2936, I think. No. Yes, I'm going to go for 2936. You're about to pass out. Yo, you didn't get... Did you get any sleep? It is a 2936. Because I didn't watch your stream after a bit, because I fell asleep. that 2936 is basically just bin filler now. Oh, we do have one more board. This is another iMac. And it looks like they've actually put some RAM in here. That is so cool. 4 gigs. Oh, so this should be 4 gigs too. That's not bad. That's genuine 8 gigs of RAM. I could probably get like $200 on eBay for that. Genuine. Schmick. Top quality stuff. It's even got the Wi-Fi card on it. Let's see, we've got the SATA connector. What's this? How did they put, is that a 1216 slot, or is that a, no, what is that slot? Is that for their internal SSDs? 1412, I mean, whatever. Let's see, where's our box of MacBook stuff? 999. Oh, other shelf. Fusion drive. Oh, okay, that's gonna. Right, so they're the same as the 2013 to 2017 airs and such. Fusion drives seem to be nothing but trouble, but correct me if I'm wrong there. I've just seen a lot of people crying over fusion drives, things go wrong or something like that. I can't remember. Something about they don't really appear as a normal drive. I don't know. I avoid iMacs generally on principle, other than the fact that I use them. Okay. Mavericks are still installing. So, which one do we try and repair first? Obviously not the iMac. Anyone have a choice? Personally, I'm leaning towards the 165s because it's late and I like to have easy things in life. $34, $37s, I'm not going to bother with. And at least the nice thing with the 165s is that, yeah, it's very easy to test them. And then we can deal with these. Oh, and this one here, I'm going to be very curious to see if we can see what it's even doing. So it's not a bad haul. I'm pretty happy with that. Basically means I don't have to get anything from AliExpress for quite a while. So that's going to save a lot of machines. 1534, that got thrown in the bin already. Nobody fixes 1534s, and if you do, you need your head checked. Well, I guess I'm just going to go with the consensus within my own mind, and that is therefore going to be the 165. So we'll do the 8 gig one. Let's see what's wrong with it, then get on with the show. Let's see. Get our chipmunk. Power supply is active. Everything's showing up on screen. Yep. $500. This is actually running. Interesting. Maybe it's got a problem with one of the outputs. Let's see if we get a... It's fixed. I'd say Lewis is probably still watching the stream, and therefore his presence is causing these boards to actually behave out of fear or maybe contempt. The 1534 is not misunderstood, which is exactly why nobody fixes it. It's because fixing a 1534 is kind of like fixing a chocolate teapot with more chocolate. Alright, so the camera is probably botched on this one. That's my guess. Dead camera. There's a corrosion right there. And focus is completely shite. Man, I can't get that. Yeah, I'm going to be glad when I can push this down to 1080 and see if it improves things. Let's see. Because that's definitely not as clear as my previous camera. It's got better color and things like that, but it's not clear. Alright. God damn it. This mouse is... Come here, mouse. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so that's probably... Yeah, no camera on that. Let's have a look, see if we can see anything else. No, this is definitely fuzzy as feck. I can get it for an instant, but it's not as pop in your eye, stab you in the eye as the other one. So I don't know whether it's the optics or whether it's the compression. Just going along, seeing if there's anything else that needs doing on this, but it does seem like if we're lucky, it's just going to be camera. Yeah. Wow, fancy that. That's the only spot of corrosion we've got. That's hilarious. Could be compression for sure. Capture device trying to handle the 4K. I guess we'll I'll see if I can get it to jump down. Because if it's not, then I'm going to be pretty ticked off about those optics. Feel like it's not changing anything, to be honest. Yeah, camera has ceased functioning. That's what I get for playing with it. Whoops. Oh dear. Alright, be right back. I think we'll... Oh wait, let's see if we can just power cycle it. Nope. It is not agreeing to that. I should never have listened to any of you. They'll probably be... This is what happens when... Yeah, so this is what happens when I change the microscope camera parameters. Be right back. Okay, so we're back. But yeah, there's certainly, like, when I look at the image, there's none of this fringing business going on. So I'm not sure whether the fringing is due to the 0.35 adapter, oh sorry, the 0.5, or whether it's because of the just a shitty sensor. Maybe I'll try put the 0.35 on and see if we notice any difference. So yeah, stand by for brain surgery. T15. Maybe it just needs a clean or something. I mean, it looks pretty damn clean, but it could be that the optics are imperfect, which would not surprise me one bit. Of course, the trick is where to find a really good one. So just get this lined up so that, okay, that should be central. And you can tell that the AM scope or something does not have a perfect centric alignment, because you can see that the left side is dominating more. Well, something's not right. Okay, now we'll bring this into focus. Yeah, there's definitely still... Doesn't seem as bad. You can actually hit a sweet spot on this one at least. No, after. I could try put the circular polarizer on, but I don't imagine that's going to help us much. Yeah. Taking 1080 slice. Except, let's see. Okay, we're at 30 frames per second there. We want to go to 50. And we botched it up. Be right back. Yeah, I think half of it's probably just the reducer. I mean, that connector, the gold connector, that's looking really good on my screen, but I don't know how it looks on yours. But that looks pretty equivalent to what I see in the microscope. let's see if we can shrink this down and keep, no, wrong. Center quarter would be 1080, yeah. Let's see, Control, this is always fun. Control Shift. There's a smidge of fridging. Okay, fridging? Fridging? What the hell's fridging? Nah. Well, yeah, the test points are out of focus because I'm focusing on the top of the connector. Let's see. Transform. Edit transform. Alright, so if we go 1/3, 60%. I said fridging, F-R-I-D, D, there's a D in there. Not the one you're thinking of. Yeah, we'll leave it alone for the moment. We can mess around with things later. I'm a little off center though. So I'm focusing on the cap there. Yeah, that's following pretty good. Anyway, let's get this cap off and clean it up. The cap, you can see the actual camera connector has been messed up. But that is actually more ultrasonicable. Let's have a look. That's right, yes. That's where I keep Micro's insulin. Exactly. At a cool 4 degrees centigrade. Or I should just say 4 centigrade. Don't need to say degrees. Right. So just getting the camera back in its safety bag. I don't want... Cleaning optics is exceptionally difficult, and the last thing you want to do is have to clean them. Yeah, the camera connector itself can be an IPA, or it'll just be ultrasonic. Anyway, let's get to it, because I'm boring the hell out of everybody. There's only so much people want to hear about messing around in the river. Now we have to do this by the soldering iron because we don't want to hot air this area too much. We can use some assistive heat, which I might have to, but that's about it. Use more than that, you're going to melt one of those connectors, and sure, you can replace them, and I mean, we've done that, but it's nice not to have to. Oh man, this thing doesn't want to budge. It's like a trump cap. A3X, yeah, stay safe there. Like I said before, we're all obviously thinking about your situation. I keep up to date on the news. It seems pretty ridiculous overall. This is what makes working on this area such a pain in the backside. Might just take out both. Oh, now I've got solder on the connector. Oh, look at that. The inductor came off, which we didn't actually need it to. Anyone would think this is... Oh, what is going on? It's like fried or something? Well, welded itself? Yeah, we might have to bring out the old pry bar. Go down to Kmart and get one. Oops. Well, we kind of indirectly did a Jessa Jones technique, but she does it gracefully. And there's actually still a part of that capacitor still down there. I don't know what happened to this capacitor, but it's certainly not giving up without a fight. Oh, there's still a part of the capacitor there. What the hell? That is bizarro. Alright, surgical knife time. Yeah, welded. It's interesting. It's so it got corroded and then it hit the short and then welded itself. In which case it's a little weird that the machine booted. There we go. Obviously the pad from the part itself is still there, as well as the corrosion. See how far that went. Oh yeah, that corrosion's everywhere. Corrosion, corrosion, corrosion. Gonna clear it away. By the way, that 1534 board, it probably would be revived either with a CPU heating or, let's see, being a 0045, yeah, probably CPU heat will get that one back up and running. And it will last anything between 0 minutes and a couple of weeks typically. Yeah, these corrosion things really can make quite a mess. Okay, now we can try some assistive heat again. Okay, finally we got that pad off. There's still corrosion there. Are you going to have to lift that track connector to the... I am not. It should be okay. It's a fairly solid track. At least it feels solid at this point. It may all of a sudden decide, nah, stuff that, I'm not solid, I'm out of here. But for now, it seems solid-ish. One of the few times I will actually do the wick on the iron trick. Not a big fan of doing this sort of scrubbing stuff. Probably because I'm not good at it. Because I'm not a fan of it. So yeah, that's a bit of a catch-22. You don't do something because you're not a fan of it, because you're not good at it. So because you don't do it, you don't get good at it. A1534 recognises itself as e-waste. That's very appropriate. Ah, look, the corrosion got up here too. We'll just cover this with UV cure. Alright, that's looking good enough to put some solder down and do it all again. Oops, it's a little big. Right, well, I've kind of created Hershey Kisses there, but that's okay. And I went from Hershey Kisses to Colossal Mass. And I see we still have a little bit of corrosion on that trace. It's inhibiting the solder going down. Oh, I just realised there is another thing that I got today that I need to show off. Although it's something more that the likes of Big Clive would be interested in. Although, you know, not really interested, more like it's the likes of something that Big Clive would deal with. Oops. See, this is why I don't do it, because I did dumb things like I let go of the wick and it cooled down and I ended up with a stuck wick. What ultrasonic fluid am I using? I'm using stuff called Ambersil. It's what I can get from Element 14 Farnell here in Australia. It's probably not the greatest by any means, but it does do a good job. I run it 5 minutes aside at 55 centigrade and it seems to be fine. Do you rely on the scope or just your eyes to clean that? Oh, I rely on the scope. Hey, Harold's here. Hello, Harold. CMI Zapper. Harold CMI Zapper is the dude who produces the Chipmunk, amongst many other very useful MacBook and machine tools. Certainly good gear, worth the money. Hopefully these come off slightly easy. Was using ES132. Okay. The only trouble I find with Ambersil, it's pretty expensive. It cost me at least $50 to fill my tank. It's a 1:5 ratio, so you get 1 litre and you add 5 litres of distilled water. So you get 6 out of it, and I've put 3 lots in there to fill up my 22 litre. By the way, Wayne, thank you very much for way back putting the effort into finding that large ultrasonic cleaner for me. I need to put more effort into thanking people for the assistance that they have given me, saving me countless hours of wandering around aimlessly. Come on, Cap, let go. Let's go to a new home. By the way, these cannot stay together. It's a very short-term relationship that these two have. The inductor has its own path, as does the capacitor. It's just one of those summer romances. Yeah, I mean, it was very cheap. It was like 270 or something like that. It was absurdly cheap for what it was. And it was that last one, thankfully, for me, as in getting it. And it does a really good job. It's certainly much better than the previous one, because the previous one would take forever to heat up, whereas this one, it does heat up at a reasonable amount of time. Just need to make sure that the continuity is good on that inductor, because I did kind of push it a little bit. Yep. See how my Mavericks is doing. What? Still about 3 minutes to go. Man, it's taken forever. Let's plug this into a chassis and see if things go okay. What do we got here? Okay, where are you, test chassis? This should do the trick. You can't buy them now. Sweep function almost all gone. Chinese ultrasonic cleaners. You could modify the control boards for those things and put a sweep function back in, even if it's just a... Damn it, where's the flippin' keyboard cable? Who stole that? Who stole that? Why? Why would I do such a thing? Honestly, I'm my own worst nightmare when it comes to stealing bits from things. Oh, there you are. The proper one, are you? Yes. Inscriptions? What? Could you recite these inscriptions? What inscriptions do we have? Let's turn off that extractor. Yes, it's a constant process of personal aberration here. So, why'd you do that? Why would you do that? So, clearly you were not thinking, you moron. Oh, yeah, hey, the camera's, even though the camera's not routed properly, we can plug that in. And I realised there was corrosion on the pins for the camera, but I think just the general activity of what we were doing should have maybe cleared some of that corrosion, hopefully, question mark. And there's freaking flux in the... Okay. Tester stick. Electronics in ultrasonic cleaner are horrible. I do agree. I have contemplated, like I said, looking at making my own driver controller, still using the actual output drivers, but controlling them separately. Because it's actually pretty hard to drive ultrasonic cleaners sometimes. They have a very strong capacitive effect. Here we go. Right, option key. Hey RTC, welcome. What is your procedure if you have a freshly liquid damaged board? Ultrasonic immediately or wait till it dries out? If it's freshly liquid damaged, I would probably ultrasonic immediately. Whoa, we've got no backlight. Okay, so we've got a backlight failure as well here. I can just see. But yeah. You probably cannot see it, but I can. And proof of that is got no illumination there. And we should be able to illuminate here. That's interesting, it's coming out internet recovery. That is a little weird, considering we had this stick here. So it didn't detect the USB either. Curious. Unless I pressed a key. Just going to try that again. Yeah, okay, it's come up. I can see it's got the boot drives in there. So okay, we've got no backlight on this as an additional thing into the camera. Oh, and I will show the other device thingy jig that I've got. So this is for when I am working on things like power supplies. This is not the best you can get by any measure. In fact, it is probably the worst you can get. The cheapest, in other words. But I figured it will at least be better than nothing. A lot of the cheapness does, however, come from the fact that... sorry, I'm just doing the Maverick setup or whatever it is. Continue... Anyway, yeah, a lot of the cheapness comes from the fact that it's not outdoor rated or anything like that. It's strictly an indoor type unit. But it seems to have all the prerequisites, and yeah, hopefully it should pass the various tests. As you can see, it does have an RCD in it. Whether it's a real one or not, I don't know. That's funny, I thought that said oof there for a second, as opposed to it's abbreviated on off. O off, I on. Oh right, it's using... Yeah, I know what's doing there. Right, let's plug it in and see if we can make it break. Hey Arnold G, well we got through half of the fault, so we're getting there. Okay, plug this into my wall. Okay, it's got another... That there is a different safety switch to this one. So, okay, so that should be on. Press this. Okay. So what I'll try to do is I'll stick my tongue into those holes there and see what happens. No, won't do that. Okay. Anyway, that's 4 ports. And yeah, so if I'm messing around power supplies, it should do the trick. I want to get these stickers off because they suck. Yeah, the most of us would normally get the HPM one, the classic sort of HPM one that you see on all the work sites. You know, it's ruggedized, it's designed for outdoors, all that sort of thing. But that's $163. And I couldn't really justify that considering I don't use it outside. I suppose I could use this outside if I am going to go do work on the house and stuff like that. But I just obviously can't do it in a wet environment or anything like that. But if it's a dry environment, I can't see why there would be a problem. Yeah, Arnold's part cable issue, yes. I still am having trouble with the protocol with trying to get the mode switching though. Let's see. Before use, safety switch must be checked to ensure operating correctly. This procedure should be performed on a regular basis. Plug your block into a fixed 240 volt. That's incorrect. It should be 230 nowadays. Anyway. Lift the clear plastic cover on the side. Place the safety switch to the on position. Press the T button. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. But I've been wanting one of those for a while because every time I do start working on AC electronics, I do get the heebie-jeebies. And that, for the price, it's like 50 or 60 bucks, it was worth it to alleviate the heebie-jeebies. Sign in with your Apple ID. I won't sign in just yet. Skip, because we're going to do a big fat upgrade yet. Oh, but it's probably not going to let me upgrade, is it? Create a computer account. PLD. I do not want a rubber duck as my icon. Oh wait, it's a hockey puck. Oh well. Let's see. Password 1234. 1234. 4 ones. Do not require password. Do not send diagnostics. Continue. Right. Super secret password, that one. Anyway, so yeah, very glad I got that. I was kind of a little bit reluctant to fork out the 168 or whatever it was, but then I saw that one sitting on the side and I thought, oh, you beauty, I'll grab you. Alright, where'd my board go? Ah, there you are. Okay, so we've got a backlight to fix. That's good. Bit of a classic. The trick here is that we did have a look at that backlight and it did not show signs of the typical failure on the, you know, the sense ball. So we've got a different kind of thing. So as you can see, physically, that looks perfectly good. So we may either have, well, there's a few different things. The most common one to check is to see if we are actually getting the feedback signal, because everything else here looks pretty good. Bit of dust up there. And so we want to see if we've got continuity from here over to here, which is a bit of a pain in the ass because it's, you know, on both sides. So the trick you can use is you actually just compare the diode modes. And I just pressed a completely wrong key. Oh god. I have lost you all. Ah, well, that would do. No, the trick is, let's see if I can get diode mode. Damn it. I've pressed a key. I'm not used to this desktop system, and it's done something. Oh yeah, we are in diode mode. Okay, yep, we're good. Alright. Alright, so what you do is you find what the diode mode is here. And we got what, 5.6, well 5.8, 6, that'll do. And then flip the board over. And I'm pretty sure it's these little suckers here. 5.8. And if we can sort of... chances are, if it's intact there, it's probably going to be intact there. So I think the trace is fine. It could actually just be the driver. We also better check the fuse. Bit of continuity checking. Password is elite. Password. Fuse is good. I hope the screen was good. What if the screen was playing silly buggers with us? Have a look at the connector. Yeah, everything looks pretty valid in that connector. Alright. Let's see what voltage we're getting in that case. Pop that up. These extension cables are very handy for this sort of thing. Okay, voltage mode. I'll laugh if something comes up on the screen. Anyway. 40 volts. Okay, so that would imply... No, it's not detecting. Why do I get this feeling that that's going to come up showing a backlight soon? Because it's boosting, so it means the controller should be working. Yep, okay, I think we just had a dud screen. That's all that was. Wow. So we don't have a bad backlight. We had a bad screen. That's weird, because that screen actually usually works fine. I test a great number of boards with that, so I'm going to have a look at that one. Let's see why it doesn't like it. Maybe there's junk on my connector there. This goes to show, you know, it helps to double check these things before ripping off parts. Yeah, maybe there was a bit of junk on one of the sense pins or something like that. Or maybe the camera is holding it down. Let's leave that disconnected for our preliminary test. And if it shows with the backlight, then we will plug the camera in. And if it tanks, then we know we've got something going on with that relationship. It certainly energizes it. You know what? That is backlight there. It's just very, very low. You can just see it around about there. It's just extremely low, but that's definitely backlight driven. I think what was happening is the camera can adjust the backlight based on the ambient light sensed. And I think the reason why the board maybe has an extremely low backlight at the moment is because of the camera failure. So once this is booted, we can get the... There we go, yep. Okay. So we're shut down. Now we'll plug the camera in and see how it behaves. And then give it a NVRAM reset if it doesn't. Particularly that camera. Yeah, there we go. We're all good again. Okay, so that's what it was. It's basically the camera had messed with the NVRAM data and caused it to go dark. Because whatever was going on, it was basically the camera pretending to say, "It's so bright here, it's a thermal... it's a nuclear thermal blast." Actually, that's not correct. It should be in the opposite way completely. It's so dark here that I can't see my own nose. So therefore do not light the screen up very much. Hey Paul T, how's it going? We're just going through a great big stack of boards that we got from a place in town. We've got 22 boards. Register this Mac, get stuffed. Skip. Jeez. Skip alsjeblieft. Danke. Hey, we got Maverick on the other one. Finally came up. The keyboard working? Yep. Okay, it doesn't have a battery in it, so it's going to run a bit slow. Now let's see. Software update. It's... I don't know how long this is going to take to do an update from this operating system. But yeah, the main reason I want that Mac is so that, you know, I can do the ALS2 stuff. So about this Mac. 1.6 i5, 8 gigs. Excellent. Alright, well, that was that. So basically, yeah, the corrosion on the camera was caused, obviously, that the camera would fail, but then I had the secondary effect on the board data. That's excellent. Let's see. Update. Now that this thing has actually updated, I'm kind of tempted to just stick a new stick in it. Alright, so that one's fixed. Hey, Marco Ramos. Hey, Micro Repairs Limited. Yeah, I don't have a lot of Afrikaans left. It's all but a faded memory now. It's getting to the point where I have... it's getting longer since I've been to Africa than how long it was from when I was born to Africa, and that's terrifying to me. Because I went over when I was 23, and I got back when I was 28. So... and I'm now old. Get off me, bug. 2022... February 26. Okay. By the way, if you want to use UV pens in the ultrasonic, I found They will stick around, they will stay on, but you've got to give them about an hour, at least half an hour to dry. And then once you let them dry properly, they will not be lifted by the ultrasonic. But this one basically doesn't really need an ultrasonic, but I will put it through anyway. Hey Firefan, do I miss the friends down in Africa? What am I, Toto? The storms in the Highveld are actually quite spectacular. Because you are at such an elevation, being at about 5,000 foot above sea level, the storms are quite different. And when you get the running web lightning on the underside of the clouds, it feels very close. So yeah, there's a lot of really nice, interesting, different things. Hey, what are they? Oh, what have they got in here? Oh, this is the Touch ID button. Yeah, that's nice. They actually supplied the touch button with it. Cool. Wife and I try to talk Afrikaans so the children don't understand. But if you did talk Afrikaans, wouldn't they understand over time? Or do you mean they're old enough now that they're not going to learn through osmosis? My Mandarin's not, well, my Chinese really, because for me I'm mostly just learning the written form, although obviously I have to learn the spoken and listen to it, but I don't do a very good job of that. Okay, so I'm presuming this is a 928 or a 289, probably 289 actually. You would, wouldn't you, Harold? Because you're Dutch. Sort of goes hand in hand. I mean, there's going to be some very specific local words that you'd have to go, what's that mean? But by and large, oh wow, cool, we've got the classic. That's a signature fault on this one. Hey, we should get this one back to life. This is going to be great. I hope. Better not jinx it, eh? Where is the damn board number? Probably gone over it. Did you end up getting your new canister for the extract? No, I actually didn't, because I ordered it and then they cancelled the order on me. And then, because they didn't have any stock of the 8-inch, and they said, do you want the 6-inch? And I said, yeah, okay, I'll take that. And then they said, we don't have any of the 6-inch, so we're going to refund. And I haven't had a chance to get back to it. Okay, it's a 923. It's a 923, and we have a classic point of failure on these. We'll just demonstrate what happens. We'll probably just get 5 volts and, yeah, 0. So 5 volts, 0 milliamp. They are underfilled, but that's not really a big issue. I think Pedro was fighting with one of these yesterday. I think. So what version of iPhone do you need to reprogram the new screen? Technically, I think it's from the 7, but yeah, you can get away with them. If you're just talking about True Tone, or you mean something more advanced than True Tone. Because all I ever do is True Tone. Okay, we actually have a little bit more damage than I anticipated there. That's kind of looking gnarly. The only gripe I have with these very compact optical adapters is that, particularly the 3.5 one, the 0.35, is extremely sensitive. Like, you barely move it an arc second, and it's like, right, we're completely out of focus now. And you're like, you mongrel. Like, when I try to bring it into focus, it's just like, no, it's there for an absolute split second and then it's gone. The depth of field basically just sucks. 923 is the board code. Okay, now I'm hoping that majority of this junk can actually just come off with a bit of flux and boil. We'll do a 360, we're going to be safe. I mean, yeah, 360 will reflow things, but due to the thermal mass of the board, it's going to take a lot of work to make it spit balls out from underneath this underfilled. And look, worst case scenario, if the CD3215 spits a ball out, I'm not really that worried. I am more worried about the NANs above it though. But right now, we're just giving it enough heat for that flux to sort of bite into the corrosion a bit. The cap will be taking out. That always has to be taken out. And I always need my restrainer. Where's my restrainer brick? Ah, there it is. That was loud. Hey, Anel, welcome. And Katie O'Cuck. Can light filter. I really like compared to the knob. Well, this one sort of sits underneath the desk now, so it shouldn't be a problem. What? No, this is the new scope cam. This is the 4K one. You are watching the 4K. Oh, I've just got to find my Grim Reaper. Got it. Hey, Ice King. Awesome repair from Stockholm. Okay, so we're just now heating up the board area with 250, and that's going to let us dig this stuff out. And I've actually got the board restrained onto the desk. Shit. That just came clean out without me even trying. Oh, and that one too. Oh well. I don't know if the trace got ripped up or not, so I'm going to have to keep digging down. Because I am going to need room to... The cap's just trying to poke out up there. I think we got lucky. Because typically they're not corroded enough, they don't just come off cleanly, but this one really did. Man, today has been a really good day. Like when I saw this box of goodies waiting for me, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And okay, we're getting a little dim there. I'm trying to see if I can find a flaw in that. Yeah, there's a... Okay, I can see the cracks in it. You might just be able to see the cracks as well. There's one running down here. And across the top. I'm kind of curious to see whether the polarizer, circular polarizer will help, but probably not. Hey NZ, I'll let other people explain. Yeah, so now we've got to scratch out that pad a bit. I'm going to have to fold up that tab, there's no other way around it. Yeah, it's amazingly coming up quite nicely. Paul too, I didn't see your link. Steve, I'm actually using the 4K at the moment. What I'm doing is I'm taking a partial frame shot or clipping out a portion of the 4K to present what you're seeing. And I don't think it is anywhere near optimal at the moment, but I might experiment later. Optimal would be to take precisely a 1080 by 920 window, and that way there's no scaling. Right now it's scaled to some degree. Nice thing is my CPU is sitting quite comfortably at 9% load. See you, Greg. Take care. This is where we get down and do some Jason Vilma level crap. Jessa Jones too. Really, I mean, the people who work on iPhones, they're a whole different breed. I'll stream the 4K. Too bad my data provider isn't going to play along with that, since they capped me out at 20 megabit upload. I could do to be honest, I'd be fine to do a 1.2K stream. Oh, sorry, a 2K stream, because I think 2K is a pretty good compromise. You can still do 60 frames per second, but you get that bit of extra resolution. Whereas 4K just seems, for me at the moment anyway, a little bit beyond reach. I forgot to get some assistive heat down. Oh yeah, for data recovery, I can understand that. But when you actually got to do full rebuilds, stuff that. And Bill Yilmaz in Geelong, out of Melbourne area, he does it too. Crazy, crazy people. Alright, so we need 2 caps. Now I remember having a hard time finding these caps before. Okay, Travis, take care. Yeah, Smeller, I agree. I think 1440 is a pretty good sweet spot. At least for now. Maybe in 10 years 4K is going to be entirely normal. Okay, I just got to... Wait, what? No, not 928. $923. What? Okay, I'll use the 239. Oh, why did I have trouble with that? 10 microfarad 40263. Like, the jelly bean caps. Weird. Why was I whining about them? Yeah, they're just little jelly bean caps. They're everywhere. Tony, you know, I wish I could sound intelligent and have a proper response to that, but I actually don't know. Sorry. 106342, yep. Mr. Daniels has a bunch of those. Let's go. It is currently, yes, 1:30. You are correct, Benjamin? Yep. But it's entirely normal for me. Alright, so we're going to be pushing the limits a little bit here. We're essentially relying on the fact that we're going to be putting leaded solder in place. Well, we have got leaded solder in place, and thus we can get the reflow to happen before anything bad happens to the CD32. Coming down. Used to reflow the CD on the other side when doing that cap. Oh, but I thought you still did that or no? I thought it was your signature style or something. Lewis was on earlier. He was pretty much asleep though. It said something about a crying baby next to him while in the motor department. So I'm not sure what's going on about that. Just checking the iMac again. I said update. Turn on, download and restart. What is that? 740 megabytes, and that's going to take 1 minute. Nice. Yeah, I see what you mean by that, Nelson. It's not intentional, of course. Let's see. 470 nanofarad, 201. That's a little bit less normal for me to have. What voltage? 6.3. Realistically, I could put a 1 microfarad there. I really could. 470 nanofarad and 1 microfarad. It's only by, yeah, it's twice the size. It's not a big issue. It really... Oh wait, maybe... What's it for though? 1v8 UPC TA LDOA. Being an LDO, I think it's going to matter. If it was something like a something with timing or similar, then yeah, I might stick with the original. but being an LDO, I don't think it's going to matter. Actually, it's interesting, I've just noticed with that Maple. Yeah, oh man, that's hard to get. Okay, the reason why that looks funny is because that is actually the full view. Whereas if I go back to the microscope, you see now we have the cropped view. If you're interested in Hong Kong suppliers, the Sony Sensor 4K, 60 frames per second, ARM CPU, Linux one, I'll pass on that because I've pretty much spent similar-ish amounts already. So yeah, this time around I'm going to give it a pass. My supplier was Rising Sun. I don't know if that's the same as yours. I might actually go to angle with this one so that I can minimize the amount of time required for heating. Ow, ow, ow. Sorry. Okay, that's about where I want it positioned. As soon as those pads... Fuck. Route. Oh, fantastic. It reflowed and then stuck to the other cap. What a pain. Getting the angles right is half the fun. Okay, we're good. And we're out of focus. What really doesn't help is that at this time of the night my vision becomes quite substandard relative to the daytime, just through a combination of tiredness and reduced light. And so where I start thinking there's a focus, it's actually shifted from what it was 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I do have a Barlow, but I need the Barlow. I need it for the working room. I've got a 0.7 Barlow. 0.5 Barlows are atrocious for it, but 0.7's pretty good. And I honestly would not be able to work without that 0.7 Barlow. There just isn't enough. I mean, I know some people do it, but I don't. So I know Lewis doesn't use a Barlow, and believe me, I would love to not have to use a Barlow, but I can't get the working room any other way. From my visual perspective here, I'm not, I don't suffer too much. It's more you guys that are suffering with the camera because there's all the additional optical elements involved. I just noticed this thing's vibrating. Oh, I know why it's vibrating, because I've got it resting in the filter box. Can you drive it? Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never personally tried driving at nights. We don't really get many nights around here. But at night time, yes, I definitely do drive at night time. I think we'd still get in trouble if we drove at nights. And they may just joist you with those big sticky things that they have. Old farter eyes, yeah, it's heading there, it's heading there. Yeah, a 0.7 is a nice compromise down from the 0.5 is, I find, just too much. You lose a lot of optical quality and you get a giraffe neck. But the 0.7 is a nice compromise. I think a 0.65 would have been nice. But they're the two choices we have. I am a little worried about those two resistors in the middle there. Not sure how they're going to react. I might see how they are after the ultrasonicking. You gotta be a smart ass. Where's the fun in life if you're not? Yeah, for a long time there, a lot of people were... you really only had the 0.5 as an option, but then the 0.7 is the preferred option. Okay, here we go. Boo, nothing. Still the same crap. That's unacceptable. It's probably beaconing. It's probably highlighting something somewhere. Yeah. Let's have another look, see if there's another cap somewhere that's shorted. Although that is such a classic one. Maybe the CD3215 did get damaged, either through my judicious use of hot air, or well, we do have some other bits of damage over here. But none of it looks like it. Yeah, a bit of test point stuff. Maybe on that MOSFET, but yeah, it's a bit of a push. I would sooner say there's something I'm overlooking here. It is getting late, so I might have to finish this one up. Ah, far out. This is why you screw your USB-C connector in. Oh, we've got 20 volts. Alright. Could have been the MOSFET on the other side, needs cleanup. 20 volts, 700, 800. That almost seems like it's booting. Let's see. The 1706 board? That's a 1706 board, isn't it? In it? Yeah, pretty sure it is. I basically had this board contributed to me, in effect. Not really. It's more a case of, you know, when you change screens over for people and you know, you're just left with a broken one. Well, in this particular instance, we were lucky that the break is such that it's still a functioning board, functioning screen, just. I'm going to have to put some privacy protection on here because if this does boot, it's going to show the information. Hey, there we go. It's booting. I might actually check with the supplier of this board and see if the person in question, because this has data on it and it wouldn't have been recoverable because this does not have a lifeboat connector that I'm aware of, I will check with the supplier, the person I bought the board from, and see if they need me to get that data off. I don't know how old this board is, but it's worth doing that check because you never know. It could have been a case of someone really needed that information and yeah, they could do with it now. So yeah, anyway, so that's a signature fault on that one with that CD3215 getting corroded, and yeah, that's how you can fix it. And how you can do it by using naughty hot air, so long as you're quick about it and so long as you have leaded solder on those pads, then you should be able to get those caps down before you cause real problems on that CD32 with popping out balls on the side. So that's great, we got that one fixed. I'm not going to bother dealing with the other side until I found out about the data, because once you get to the point where you can gain access to the data, you really just have to stop and deal with the data situation and then move on afterwards. That because you don't know whether you knock something and then boop, it's all gone after that. Assuming they remember their password, that is always a possible issue. Yes. Wayne, I cost you $400. Saw that portable monitor on your stream. Thought, damn, that'd be handy. But oh, you got the 4K touch version. Well, I don't see how that's my fault. Anyway, look, to be honest, realistically, that's Jim's fault, Jim Hook, because he's the one that sent me the 11-inch screen originally. I gotta admit, the touchscreen does sound tempting. Did you get the 11-inch or did you get the 13-inch? Because I imagine when you go and touch, you probably want to get 13-inch. Otherwise, 11's just a little bit too tight for fat fingers like these. Yeah, Miles. Hopefully they do remember their password. 700 milliamps standby current, ready for image. Right. Oh well. Anyway, I am out of here. Thanks everyone for watching, and I guess I'll be back tomorrow probably, given how many boards I have here to fix. So we've got the 2 running, we've got the 165, and we've got this 928, 923. I forget now already. So that's good going. Hopefully we have similar success with the rest of them. I'm out here. You take care. I'll see you next time. Catch you later.